Dawn, thank you very much. 1 month to go until Christmas. If you got your holiday portraits all ready to go, we brought in Tamea Burd, a photographer. Tamea, what are the top 3 things that you would say people do mistakes people make when they get their pictures taken?
I would say the top 3 that I've noticed consistently are, and they're not necessarily in order. The first one is people, for whatever reason, when they know a camera's pointed at them, lift their chin.
To prevent the double chin look, right? I
think that's what they're thinking in their heads, that they're going to prevent the double chin, but what it actually does is makes you all neck.
So
yes, see the before
what
and
do you do
there?
then?
Instead of lifting your head up, you sort of be aware that you just did that and bring it back down a tiny bit lower than you'd normally hold it.
Okay, you've got your 2 models here as well. For guys and for girls, same thing.
Same thing for men and women for that one. Just bring your chin back down a little bit lower than you'd normally hold it, and maybe turn your head just a tiny bit to the side so the camera sees more of your jaw.
Okay, what else do we do?
Another big one that people do is their blinkers. People hear the camera shutter start to click and they blink. A very simple and easy thing to do is, if you can, ask your photographer to count out loud to 3 and take a breath in on 3. You won't blink.
And that prevents you from blinking?
For some strange reason, people don't. When you first start to breathe in, you don't blink.
Okay.
So, and if you can't ask the person to count for you, just do it in your head. If you know the photo's going to be taken, consciously just take a breath in when you know the picture's going to be taken. You won't blink.
And another mistake we do? Oh, your posture as well, that's important.
Yeah. One that I'm not a fan of is the big fake smile. People seem to think that they have to go for a photo, and it's so obvious that it's a fake smile. Just be comfortable and relaxed.
So what should you do then to avoid the fake smile?
To avoid the fake smile, think of something that makes you happy, and just sort of smile with your eyes. If you watch Top Model, Tyra Banks is always telling people to sort of be fierce with your eyes or smile with your eyes. Just think of something that makes you happy. That might bring a real smile, or at least it'll sort of warm up your eyes and give them a bit of a twinkle, which is so much more appealing than that big fake used car salesman.
Right.
Look,
when it comes to posing for photos, there's different ways that guys can pose for photos versus women posing for photos.
Sure.
Let's go through some tips then. So I'll go first here. So what should the guys be doing when we're getting our picture taken?
Well, I'll tell you what not to do first.
Okay.
What not to do, and it's a big one, is most people should never, ever, ever pose facing the camera straight on.
So not like, this guy here.
Well, here's me pointing the camera at you.
Okay.
If you're facing me directly, it foreshortens your body. So, and men and women, it makes you look kind of squat and short.
This is the camera that I'm on right now. So what should I be doing then to avoid that?
So you want to turn just a little bit to the side, not much, just not so much, just a little.
Okay.
You want to put your legs about shoulder width apart.
Okay.
You want to put one hand in a pocket. Let the other hand just hang naturally, both hands in the pocket.
I don't like the natural hang with the hands.
You said that, but if you only have to do it for a second in a picture, and it does look better. Well, put both hands in your pockets. It doesn't look as good.
No? Okay.
It doesn't. So, and then just turn a tiny bit, there. Ta-da, hello.
Okay, and for your face, what should the guy be doing with his face?
He can do whatever he wants, really. Just try your best not to do fake smile. Don't lift your head too high. Yeah, put it down a little bit. There you go. I can see you practicing. Hello.
How's that?
You're going to go home and do this in front of the mirror, aren't you?
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let's get a shot.
Okay, wait, we're taking my picture. So, Dawn, you're on standby. Wait a second.
We got to get a picture of him. Ta-da.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Lovely.
Like the fake smile there? Okay, Dawn, you come in here. Now, what should women be doing?
Hi there, Dawn.
Hello.
Well, for women, it's very similar. You don't want to stand facing the camera straight on. If you ever notice in red carpet photo shoots, the women are never directly straight on in front of the camera. They're always sort of turned.
Beyonce pose, I call it.
Beyonce pose, you got it. Totally.
Yes.
So you want to do a similar thing, and I actually, if anybody took dance, it's ballet first position. So you stand with one foot tilted out and one foot straight. The tilted out foot is going to be the one your weight is on. The straight foot should be the direction you're facing.
Okay.
You got it. So you put your weight on the foot behind you, and now turn yourself a little bit.
Okay.
And just a tiny bit, not in a hoochie way, just a tiny bit arch your back, just a fraction. There you go. And both hands lightly resting on your hips.
Okay.
Just gently, barely even touching your hips.
Gently.
There you go.
Okay.
And maybe tip your shoulder forward a tiny bit. And chin down a little. Okay, let's get a shot of that. See?
While you're taking that picture to me,
yes.
You said it's important as well, your wardrobe and the colors you're wearing. What should we be avoiding wearing?
Oh, there's quite a few things to avoid. The number one thing to avoid is bold, big, huge patterns. If you're having any kind of, if you're at a function or an event and it just happens to be what you're wearing, that's not such a big deal. But if you're at a wedding or you're having your photos taken specifically, a big, bold pattern's a bad idea because it takes the focus away from your face, and you want people to be looking at your face in the picture.
Okay.
The other one is really huge, ostentatious jewelry or a really bold, bright tie. The other tip about color is most people don't look good in shades of green, yellows, and oranges. If you happen to be one of the lucky few who looks awesome in it, then wear it. But earth tones and solid, warm colors.
So another thing that's very important is if you've got children, taking your children's photograph. It's that time of the year. Coming up after the break, we're going to give you some tips on when you take your kid to the studio, what you should be looking at. Okay, so it's 9:38. Stay with us. We're back. You're watching Breakfast Television.
Vogue, strike a pose, strike a pose. There we go.
Welcome into our studios here at the corner of West 2nd and Columbia. We're talking photography this morning with Tamea Burd, and you give us some tips about adults and what we can do to improve our photographs as we gear up for the holiday season. Christmas 1 month from today. A lot of people a lot of people taking their kids to get pictures taken.
Yes.
What are some important tips that parents can do to make sure that your kid has a really good photo?
I think there's quite a few, and we'll try and get through as many as we can. The number one I would say is do not stress out. For whatever reason, if you think that you're running short on time or whatever, and you're stressing out, your younger children, particularly the younger children, are going to pick up on it, and they're going to stress out. So stay calm. For whatever reason, just try and just relax. Make sure your kids are relaxed. Don't give them sugary snacks or caffeine before a shoot, because that'll make them hyper. Make sure if they're younger that they've had a nap, preferably before shoot. I always recommend for younger kids that it's booked in the later afternoon after they've had lunch and a nap, because it's usually the best time for little ones. Mornings not so good.
So always be ready, I guess, to if it's not going so well, take your kid away and give your kid a little bit of a break.
You know what? Make sure to book a minimum of 90 minutes, because an hour is not enough time. 2 hours is okay. Between 90 minutes and 2 hours. Anything more than that is too much. But if your child is younger, they're going to need quite a few breaks. They're going to need to go to the washroom. They might need to just relax. No kid, and most adults, can't sit perfectly still and have a camera clicking at them for 2 hours.
These photos are really, really cute. All the kids look like they've been on their best behavior. Does it happen a lot when kids come to take their pictures taken, it turns into a nightmare experience?
I love kids, so it's never a nightmare, but...
Good answer.
Thank you. Well, it's true. But I don't enjoy it, and I know the children don't enjoy it. If they're fussy and they're miserable and they just don't want to be there, reschedule, because you're not going to get good photos by insisting on toughing it out.
Last but not least here, what about when the family is going, say, to the studio to have their portrait taken? A lot of them maybe want to coordinate their outfits or whatever. Does it look kind of weird if you've got all your family in their Christmas sweaters?
That's a matter of taste, and I cannot answer that. However, I can give one tip for any photo that involves more than one person. What will take an ordinary photo to extraordinary is showing affection in that photo. From just sort of sitting side by side, not touching, to putting your arm around someone, or if it's your child, hugging them or giving them a kiss. It'll turn just a regular sort of Sears portrait, not that there's anything wrong with that, Sears, if you're watching. It'll turn that into something really a beautiful moment, just by showing that minute of affection, and that's for all photos.
It certainly is an art form, and here we've got some photographs as well where you've got your models on the left just standing there.
Exactly, and there they are giving each other a hug, and it's a world of difference. By the way, those lovely models are both from the Aveda Ego Salon and good friends of mine, and they agreed to do that shoot for me, so I had to mention them, Taylor and Melissa.
Thank you very much, Taylor and Melissa.
Thank you, Taylor and Melissa.
Photography certainly is an art form, and we could talk about this all day. So is posing. It's a lot more difficult, I think, than the rest of us maybe think about it. But if you'd like some more tips on this, we'll post some information on how to get in touch with you on our website. Tamea Burd, photographer, citytv.com/BT Vancouver is our website, and we'll see you again sometime.
I hope so.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
9:45. Stay with us. You're watching Breakfast Television. We're back with today's entertainment news right after this.